swim in lakes.
I thought you were going to just make eye gestures and try to again.
Swim in lakes. I want to go to Poland, and I hear that like it's not like a Latin language, or it's not a romantic language, so I wouldn't even know how to begin to speak it, to be honest. And where I'm sure in the cities they speak English, but in the countryside where I want to go. Hi, welcome to Someplace Underneath. I'm Amber Nelson.
I'm Natalie Jean.
I want to go to this place called Zyndaki, and look at this windmill.
You got to learn how to say it if you're going to go.
Zindaki. Oh, I go here.
Who knows how to say it phonetically?
Look at this fucking beautiful windmill I can stay in.
It's stunning. It's gorgeous.
And there's all these like, let me find a lake that I can like jump into. It just looks like, please.
But make sure there's not some kind of mite in the lake or some kind of thing that'll swim up your pee hole.
I know, because
sometimes you don't know that until you're in there. There was a really horrible, sad, what is it, a lake?
Yeah, look at these. You could just go jump in that and go run around in those fields.
What if it's like a muck bottom lake?
I don't know, because we do Someplace Underneath, a show about missing women, and I think it would be quite darn
you're
silly.
saying, I'm going to go to a misty lake in the middle of nowhere.
Misty lake where they don't speak English. I'm just going to jump right in. I'm not going to read those signs saying don't dive in here, because I don't know.
Because I'm living my freedom life. Just slugs. Oh, fun. Yeah, that's you gotta be careful, please, if you're gonna do that.
We'll figure it out. Well, I do want to. I'm saving a little bit of money. I feel like next summer I want to go somewhere fun. I'm thinking either Spain or maybe Rome or Greece. But I do want to.
You gotta go to. I mean, you have to go to Rome at least once.
Yeah.
You have to go to the west of Italy. It's so amazing there. I know people probably like say, "Oh, it's Rome. It's like where it's the tourists, blah blah." It's so beautiful. You've never seen an old building in America.
I've actually.
And then you go there, and they're everywhere.
And they're like, oh, there's another Colosseum. There's another Colosseum.
Yeah.
I'm more scared of Rome than this non-English speaking village. I think because there's more tourists that go there.
But Rome's great. It's so fun.
Yeah?
Sometimes I always say, sometimes you're safer in numbers, you know?
I know, but I would be by myself. Can we do a poll in the chat that says Poland or Rome?
Poland or Rome are the two. Squidney89 says, girl, go to Greece, which I have not done either. I would love to go to Greece.
But I just saw a video today that they were like, Greece is actually very, like, especially Athens, like very dangerous. And I was like, well.
You know, but you're saying everywhere's a little dangerous.
Right. Poll is up. Amber, I'm here to remind you, you're an absolute goddess. Thank you. TUEDANK.
Can you see she's a ghost? Amber, stand up. Wait.
This matches my purse that my friend got me for my birthday.
I know, I love that purse. I love that you're modeling it. Wait, but show everybody you're a ghost.
Oh.
No, you gotta stand up.
Oh, right. Here we go. You can't see me.
Whoa, she's in outer space and she's a ghost.
Grease lightning. All right, so I don't know. It's pronounced too dank. Oh, I thought you were real. Oh, that's your name. Sorry, I thought you meant this Polish place.
Oh, God. Why don't you go to the countryside of Poland, do a live stream the whole time and just have chat explain to you how to speak to people?
Okay.
Just let them go off.
You guys go off, and then I'll just like hold it up to a Polish person's face. Like, tell me.
I think that's the best. That's the plan I think you should do. That's my advice. Germany is a great place to visit. Yeah, Germany.
I went there last summer. I loved it. But I was watching a video I sent where I was in like a small German town where nobody spoke English. And I remember just being a little like lonesome. So I wonder if this is a bad idea to go to another place where they don't speak English. That's like a very quiet town.
I know, but that was your first instinct. It seems like that's what you want to do.
I guess so.
You like going to a quiet town.
I want to just like get out there.
I don't. That scares me. I'd rather go to a city pretty much any time.
Right.
Portugal's popping right now. Lisbon is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. It looks like it's like not real. It looks like a fairy tale.
Love to go there. Oh yeah, and Prague, very close to Poland, just a little down trip away. I could go there.
Girl, you go anywhere you want.
I go where I want. I'm saving a little bit of money. We'll see. Next summer, I'll go somewhere fun.
Okay, great.
All right.
Love that.
Polls ended.
Polls ended. Let's
polls
see.
ended.
What is it?
Greece.
They say Greece?
They say
I mean, shocking. I'm personally shocked. They don't want us vacation in Poland.
Swimming in a mucky lake in Poland by myself. All right. Well, I guess I'll see.
A non-clear lake is so gross. My family in Michigan lives off of like a man-made lake, and it is just a swamp essentially. But I swam in it all the time as a kid. It's like one of those ones where your feet sink down into the dirt, and there was a leech on me once.
Ooh.
You know,
So you gotta kiss it off of you.
My uncle actually burned it off with a cigarette.
That sounds very...
It was pretty white trash. But he got it off me.
All right.
You need tracksuits for Slavic countries, Pink Coffee Cake says.
All right.
So now that's fun.
Now that the fun is done.
We have to make sure we have fun, nice things for you going into Brighter Side after this every other Wednesday, because I can't imagine the sort of whiplash that you have from coming from this show into Brighter Side.
I look at it as like a... And then Ed and I talk for like 2 seconds on the stream, and then it's, I'm on the Brighter Side. I hope you guys are okay. I mixed up the shows. This is my bad. I'm sorry. You guys are saying ham. This is more sad.
There's no ham here.
There's no ham here. It's all dry turkey.
Dry turkey? I don't know. I don't want dry turkey either.
No, this is tofurkey. This is still a very fun show. We're going to be very informative. We're talking a lot about child marriage. Did you know that it's legal in most American states? Do you know that? And did you know in a lot of states, including California, you don't have to have a minimum age. You could marry a toddler. And did you know?
All right.
Did you know that the parents give you away and say you're a toddler, and the toddler, they can't go to a women's shelter because you're not allowed to accept anybody under 18. You can't help that toddler escape because now you're charged with human trafficking. And the toddler can't divorce the husband, so you're fucking trapped until you're 18. I hope you don't have a baby at 12. You're stuck till you're 18. And welcome to USA and welcome to SPUN. That's what we're talking about.
All right, let's delve into that chunk of information.
I just got so fucking mad when I found out this.
It's fair to be mad about this, and it's not pure hyperbole that you just did.
No, it's real.
Like it's pretty close. Are we going to talk about Gypsy Rose being pregnant? I grow tired of her.
Yeah, I don't really know I know a little bit of the story. I wish her well.
I don't think she has any chance. I don't think she ever had any way to be normal, and she's not going to get the right counseling now. I don't think it's gonna. I don't want it to end poorly for her.
Maybe the baby, she'll be like, I'm a mom now, and then maybe she'll treat the baby how she was not treated, and that's with love.
I hope so. She might be a great mom.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have to see her on social media all the time.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's too much.
It's that and the hawk towel thing. I'm like, we need to chill.
The hawk towel.
Whatever the fuck that is. That's like, who's that? Yeah, groovy baby. It's like that kind of sense of humor.
Austin Powers.
It's like Austin Powers level humor. Like, do you want to do 10 minutes at Yuck Yucks in Ohio? I don't know what's your level of comedy.
Well, I think that's probably why people loved it, because it reaches all of the
idiots.
Yeah.
Just fucking idiots. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah. I
like her though. I wish her safety and wellness.
I think it was her delivery was funny.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, of course it's very silly and stupid and nonsensical, and it's already gross, and
Yes,
the guys who were running it, who were asking drunk women questions, are mad because they didn't get the attention she got, and
right.
It's like,
I think they're threatening to sue now because they want to have the podcast deals.
Sue who?
Who?
Who are they going to sue?
What's going on? Go get a job.
Sue the audience for not liking them more?
I'm going to sue you for not liking me. Sounds like my old roommate.
Oh no, she's gone. You never speak of her again. I felt like we brought this up today because we were talking about it recently, and I can't wrap my mind around it still regularly, and I think it's something that we have to deal with, like, in the forefront of our culture in this country. I don't want to talk about the election. I know we're all sad about it. I know everything sucks about that, but there are things we can do on state level in smaller elections, and there are people who are addressing this topic, which we covered in a series before, and I've talked about at length, but I do feel like we need to keep bringing it up, which is that currently, being married, you can marry a child, you can marry a minor in currently 37 states in this country. So that's not a monolith. There's a bunch of different rules tied into that. It's not like you can just like take a 10-year-old off the street and marry them. There's a bunch of stuff that happens, and some states have stricter laws around it, and some have very much just like choose your own adventure marriage laws for minors. And that can mean, so child marriage can mean either a kid to a kid, which happens a lot when there's a pregnancy, or families are trying to get rid of their kids out of the house, or they can be an adult to a child. And when I say child, it's because some of these marriages on record over the last 20 years have been to 10-year-olds and 11 and 12-year-olds, to not 10-year-olds and 11 and 12-year-olds. So there is, let's just pull up that first graphics. What is child marriage, and is it really happening in the United States? So child marriage occurs when one or both parties to the marriage are below the age of 18. Child marriage is currently legal in 37 states. Only Connecticut, Delaware, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Vermont have set the minimum age at 18 and eliminated all exceptions. And 20 U.S. states do not require any minimum age for marriage with a parental or judicial waiver. Again, that's still not entirely clear, because there's still a bunch of different elements that go into these laws. But this isn't like, oh, there's this loophole language, where you technically could get married to a kid. It's like, no, this is something that happens pretty regularly. It's like pretty much bold-face in your face laws saying this.
Yeah.
And it's holdover from older laws.
Wasn't like 300,000 kids were married off between 2000 and 2018?
Yes, so that's true. Nearly 200,000 children were married in the U.S., and that is some of that is a kid to a kid, some of that is kid to adult. I think there's something like 60,000 of them were a young girl to a much, much older adult man. So, yes, and so of course, I don't think anybody's going to be super shocked, because this is, if you're not aware, a holdover from conservative religion most of the time. Sometimes it's due to extreme poverty as well. But because of that, the vast majority of it is girls wed to adult men. And usually when we're saying much older adult men, we mean like more than a 4-year, 5-year age gap. Sometimes it's like a 20-year age gap. So I just want to also pull these stats up, because I think it's good to just take a look at it. So if you want to look at these percentages, if you're watching, you can see there's very low percentages between 2011 and 2018 of children who are girl-to-girl marriages. There's like less than 1%. Apparently there's a couple, though, which is very strange. Or minor girl to minor boy. That's 12% of all of the children who are married. Minor girl to adult woman is less than 1%. Minor girl to adult man is 78% of that statistic. Minor boy to minor boy, less than 1%. Minor boy to adult woman is interestingly 9%. Minor boy to adult man is less than 1%. Ugh, like an AMBLA thing. Yuck.
Ugh.
Although we can say not all of those are necessarily these full predatory child forced into a marriage situation. Sometimes it's a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old, a 17-year-old and a 20-year-old. I'm not saying that that's great, but they might have been a little bit closer to both wanting to be participants. I also don't think that that should be a legal thing to do, which is what a lot of people agree, that even if you are a minor in a relationship with someone who's technically an adult, that getting married takes away essentially your autonomy, because one of the main problems with these kind of marriages is the way that the laws are written, like Amber said earlier, is if you are a minor and you get signed off in the court system to this older person, you are essentially also then becoming their, the older person's becoming the guardian and the spouse. So
right. You can't leave them, you can't divorce them, no one can help you leave, you can't go to a shelter.
So essentially, it's like the same if you were their kid, but you're also their spouse. So if you're in that situation, you are not allowed to leave their home legally until you're 18 to file for divorce. You cannot file for divorce from them. Your personhood is basically taken from you. And this is not like a theoretical thing that could happen. It's a thing that happens pretty regularly.
So you're old enough to be married off, to be a wife, but you're not old enough, you're not mature enough to get a divorce. Whoa, let's hold down here.
Well, yeah, because essentially what they're doing in that paperwork, and this is again a holdover from centuries past, but also some people seem to really enjoy it.
Right.
In modern day.
We'll get into those later.
Yeah. That you are essentially becoming the dependent of this other person. And usually in traditional of these kind of marriages, it was a husband who also kind of had a child that they were taking care of, who they also were assaulting, but it was legal.
Right.
And that's another thing. So in a lot of cases, SA would be considered SA or statutory when intimacy is involved between a lot of the parties. So when you get married, it becomes legal. So
there's no statutory rape if you're married.
Yes, correct.
And also when you're married, you don't really seek out higher education. And I know some trolls in the chat could be like, yeah, women shouldn't. But if women are low educated, the whole community suffers. Who do you think raises these kids? Who do you think?
Well, yeah, but you got to remember, if somebody's talking like that, they don't actually care. They don't want to have a logical, they want you to be mad. That's all they care about.
That's it.
I wanted to throw in the chat too, if you're listening live or watching live, I'm going to show you a website, but if you want to throw that link in the chat back there, Tirso, that would be great. There is a place you can go on this website I'm going to talk about that you can just, they write the letter for you. All you have to do is like put your info in and send it. You can do it if you're in California, because right now there's a bunch of bills up in California, but also there's ones that you can do that say anywhere else in the country you can also sign, asking lawmakers to please make it illegal for kids. No circumstance marriages for kids. There's just no reason for it ever. And right now, so California is unfortunately one of 4 states in the country that you can be 0 years old, and if you find a judge to sign the paperwork, you can marry the baby.
I feel like we need to find these judges who says it's okay and disbar them.
Well, I will say that I think when I say you have to find a judge, I'm trying to put the caveat on, there's not people just going out and marrying babies all the time.
Right.
It's more so that technically, that is a technicality. Within the law, you could legally marry an infant with the way the laws are set out, and you wouldn't be committing any crimes, including, I guess, assault, like because you were married. So that's not great, guys. I don't know if anybody thinks that that's cool. Let me know so I can just put you on the list. And we will just a list of the coolest people. That's all I meant.
Coolest people. And there's a lot of people in politics, because you might say, like, no one agrees with this. This is a bipartisan issue. But there's a lot of people in politics that, AKA, I've seen a lot of guys, I'm sure a lot of women feel the same way, that think you're the most fertile when you're younger and we need to repopulate. They need to be put on a list. If you talk in a way of a 12, 13-year-old as being fertile, I need to look at your computer.
Well, yeah. And let's get to that in a second. I want to show you this map quickly. If you want to pop over to my website here. So this is Unchained at Last. It's run by a woman named Frady Reese. She's a fucking badass. She's one of the reasons that we're getting the laws changed in this country. Her organization, Unchained at Last, has done a lot of work, because I don't know if you guys listened to the American Child Bride series that we did a ways back. There were more states where it was legal then. So they are actually actively fighting not fighting, just like speaking to the lawmakers, being like, hey, this is super fucked up. Are you cool with this? And most of the time, people, even in who work in politics, don't realize that this is a thing that still happens in our country. So if you go to this map, it's a really fun, not fun, it's really fun, guys. It's a really easy way to check which states are, I'm looking at Pennsylvania. They ended child marriage. Youngest marriage allowed is 18. And then it says before they changed that, minors wed between 2000 and 2018, 3,052. So that's Pennsylvania. California, if you look over here, strong bill pending, which is why I was asking people to check the link if you're in California. Youngest marriage age allowed 0. Minors wed 2000 to 2018, 23,586. So a lot of states have been addressing this. However, there are some people who really, really want to take a stand for freedom, for the rights of all penises, for their Bibles and their country and their God and their guns.
Yeah, freedom for them, not freedom for the 10-year-old girl. And I say girl because it's 78%, let's be honest here. And these people are in positions of power, and I think they should be taken down.
Somebody was asking me what the gray states in this map mean. There's a couple different progress maps. That one I was looking at specifically. So I'm pulling you back in here for a sec. This is a different map that I'm looking at. This is the color map for based on youngest marriage age allowed. Yeah, so you see these 4 red states? Red for red alarm, red flag. That means there is no minimum age for a spouse. On the books.
In their opinion, it's like, well, we're just getting girls out of poverty, but they're not. Like, maybe focus on a place where they can go. I don't know.
Some of these laws are held over from women. Women could not get a credit card or a home, couldn't, which is not cool, but that's how it was. And so a lot of these were to facilitate those situations. We don't need that now. No. So why do we need it? Creepy guys and creepy women, because women are also capable of this. I want to say quickly, the gray on that one I was looking at before, it basically talks about it's the state of like either a bill is being passed or it's not being passed. So some of the gray states, essentially all of these gray states here in the middle, it means that a bill has passed, but it's like flimsy. They got a little bit of progress on something, but it wasn't the 18 no exceptions law, which is what we're aiming for every state.
That's a lot of gray states to not know.
Oh, yeah. Some of them have barely even paid attention. They're just like not concerned. And a lot of them, unfortunately, are in the South. And then over in the Mormon belt here, they're not really super concerned with it. That's weird. Why? Why exactly those ones? So the most recent state to have, this is current, you guys, like this is stuff happening in real time. So it was just last month, I believe. Yes. So it was June of 2024. New Hampshire just ended child marriage. You would think like it would be easy to go, oh, this is still on the books. Just get it out of here. However, there are people who come and push against that idea. Mm-hmm. A lot of times when these bills are brought up. And we have a video of a guy from New Hampshire who was not happy about this happening and was trying to stop it. And this is usually the sort of speech that's given whenever somebody's opposing one of these.
Right, town hall meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for taking my question. Do you agree with the point of view that if we continually restrict the freedom of marriage as a legitimate social option, when we do this to people who are of ripe fertile age and may have a pregnancy and a baby involved, are we not in fact making abortion a much more desirable alternative when marriage might be the right solution for some freedom-loving couple?
And then he just leaves. He's like, some freedom-loving couple.
Well,
And
I don't
he
know if
knows-
you guys. Sorry.
Oh, people are just booing him.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys
Ew.
heard that, but it was more people going like, "Oh!"
Yeah.
Like, as he was talking, you could hear the people in the room going like, "Ew."
Ew, which you shame as a big proponent. Like, you should shame people. Shame deadbeat dads, too. Shame.
So there are a couple things to take away from that. He's actually, guys, I'm gonna blow your mind. He's libertarian. He, no offense if somebody's living on your, I know you're not all like that.
Right.
So some of the people who have that sort of take are in this guy's camp. The other side is being like, it affects my religious freedom to have sex with a baby.
And not the baby's freedom. But then they're
The
like...
baby's an object. They don't.
Right, but then of course it's a human being when it's in a stomach.
Well, yeah, when it comes out, it's my bride. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting itchy. Like my head's itching.
Oh, yes, somebody said freedom of marriage unless you're gay. Right, final Angie 13.
For sure. That
Only his freedoms, his penis freedoms, but my penis has freedoms.
So this guy's take is either a straw man or he's not super understanding what he's saying, because essentially this is an argument sometimes people have that marriage, if there's a pregnancy, marriage can help. Marriage is something that, like, if somebody becomes pregnant and they have the marriage, then it helps them care for the child. And my immediate response would be, well, why don't we have systems set up to help that person instead of selling them to a person?
Right, help that person, and also throw the person who did the baby in jail because they're a pedophile and that's illegal. Wow.
Not if they get married.
Maybe you have some evidence and it's called in her womb. Maybe.
Which we've covered some of those on the show, and it's really maddening. But I'm saying this, I know this sounds bleak, but we have the power to change things, and we should be trying. That this has happened time and time and time again. You can find story after story. If you go to Unchained at Last, there's a lot of people's stories in there of people who were literally SA'd by an older person, and their parents made them marry that person. And I'm not talking about like 1940. I'm talking about like now. That's still happening. You're getting put into, like, instead of shaming the family,
Right.
you have to be married with this person who is going to hurt you, going to continuously be violence against you, because if you're doing SA, you're gonna.
It's not like he's gonna marry this child and then be like, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Wasn't there this the thing we talked about 2 streams ago, and I want to get the names right. I'm so sorry. Megachurch pastor blamed the 12-year-old blamed her for inappropriate sexual conduct.
Well, we covered this guy. He was a pastor. He's a prosperity gospel pastor.
He's a full-grown man. So, like, he's the leader of a church. He's the better one, and yet he can succumb to a 12-year-old. He sounds like a piece of shit to me.
Yeah, he can't. He's got his little. It's so hard for him.
Oh, I wish these men were shipped off to an island.
Women are trash as well sometimes.
Sure,
Thanks for
yeah,
the
women-
subs, guys. Sub time. I wanted to bring up quickly. Sub time. Kitsuna last week gifted us 50 subs. I just want to give them a big shout out again, because that is a lot of subs.
That is a lot. Thank you.
And then I want to thank for subs Raven Hallow, Shek Missy, Lord _Oxium, and Xar 626 gifted a 1-tier sub. Thank you guys so much for being here and allowing me to just say these things loudly at you, because I don't always yell about it, but it's like, guys, this stuff is like, why is this happening? We can't be like, sort of like, what are you gonna do with this kind of thing?
Boys will be boys.
Just, it's trash. And also, I feel like we really got to continue saying this too. For every trash person, trash dude, there's 100 great humans, great men.
Right, I don't want to shit on all guys. I'm just so mad right now watching this guy literally stand up there and say it's okay to have sex with a child.
I'm
sorry,
I'm
I
gonna
don't mean
freely
all men. I'm just like mad.
Personally, this is only me speaking. I'm going to freely say I'm being anti-conservative in general. I hate it. I hate the culture. I think it's really damaging to girls and women, and it's damaging to all genders. It's fucked up.
I think so too. I was raised very conservative Christian, and I would say even as a straight man, I'm trying to think of this like, imagine being told you're a sexual predator from birth. Like, if I was a guy, I'd be like, oh, I guess I'm a predator. I don't want to be.
Right, being told you take this from this person. You can't have any like connection to them.
Right.
You can't be emotional in any way with that person is a thing that you take, and you own that, and maybe you don't want to be like that.
And if you feel something, you got to push it down.
Yeah, because what are you, some kind of girl?
Right, that's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's definitely horrible. So that guy we just showed the video of, his name is Jesse, I don't want to say it wrong. Hang on. Jesse Edwards. So another really weird fact about him, his daughter was first the state rep in New Hampshire, and she's super progressive. Such a strange take to have a boss bitch daughter and then call girls fertile and ripe. Like, she obviously does not agree with that statement, and it's just such a weird take to have when your child is educated and like in politics and smart and like doing it for herself, everyone. The disconnect of it. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the kind of people, if you're ever just like wondering who's saying this kind of thing and who's making these laws not go away, I just want to do a quick slideshow. So this is Jesse Edwards, like headshot. Oh, let's start with Rudy Giuliani here. So here he's with Rudy. They're crushing each other. They're having a great time. They're feeling each other's flags. They're loving this.
Yeah, who's the guy on the left, the far left?
I don't know who that politician is. I believe he's a politician. This is some kind of rally for Chris Sununu, who's the governor of New Hampshire. We can go to another one. Chris Sununu is a different dude, I'm pretty sure. That's Jesse. So here's Jesse Edwards. That is him. He is the one who is talking about being ripe and fertile.
He looks dry and crispy.
Yes, that was ripe, fertile girl.
I think he just wants to steal the soul of children because he's lost his.
Here he is with a scab on his nose. That is the governor, I believe. That's Chris Sununu. The other gentleman that's standing here with, and he also is a conservative weirdo. So that's them. Another bunch of ripe, fertile lawmakers.
There's a woman there, honey. Get up, get out of there.
Look at these ripe, beautiful.
The women and the kids.
This picture. Okay, so this is a picture of him with a bunch of the politicians of that state,
is he looking for his future wife?
And it's like all these kids, and I believe this is a bunch of kids who've lost a family member in a war. But when I look at it, and it's all of the people in the back surrounding them, I feel like I want to like take my arms around the kids and like move them. Like I hate this.
Yeah.
Why do I get such a bad vibe from this picture? Like I feel like I need to go in there and be like, okay, kids, come over here. You just back away a little bit, okay?
Back away, because it's all these like weird old guys just like around these kids. Like, where's the women? There's one woman in the back.
They're the dudes I think were running stuff over there. This is just that's who's doing it.
And the women that vote for this kind of shit, I
and then here we've got two fertile, ripe men.
Two fertile men.
The most libertarian person you've ever seen on the right. I don't know. He is the one that's. I think he's Jason Osborne. But man, the beard and fedora combo. Chef's kiss. I'm sorry, I'm being shitty.
No, it's fine. I think these guys were just like losers in high school, and it kept going through.
Jesse Witt, Jesse's against Jesse Edwards. Yeah, no, I don't blame. I'm not putting you in that pool,
right.
That pool of Jessies.
Free yourself from this prison. Free it.
Yeah.
You know, from this, like, you are a sick, like, imagine being a guy and growing up saying, you're sick, all you think about is fucking and sucking, and if you're gay, you're wrong, and, like, that's a prison.
You become Josh Duggar, truly.
You become Josh Duggar. Get out, enjoy, laugh, go on a girls' night, go on a boys' trip. I don't know.
I mean, but, like, go on the boys' trip and, like, cry or something, you know?
Right.
Have fun. Don't go on a boys' trip and then just, like kill a bunch of stuff. That's not helping. You can go on. I'm not saying you can't be a hunter. I'm just saying if you're gonna go do hunting stuff, like also play a game of like Yahtzee or something, you know, like Cards Against Humanity, and have a smile, have a hug.
Have a smile and a hug. I did see this funny video, and it's a shame of like men need to open up more with other men. I think that'd be very great for everybody, because it was a video and it was like, come to this retreat is no girls allowed, and it's like full men and they're like lifting weights, and they're just like, we're about eating meat, lifting weights, no girls, and everybody's like using gay as a derogatory slurm term.
I like a slurm.
Slurm. And I think if you want to go lift weights with your boys and eat meat, I don't care. That sounds fine.
But it's so, why are you so mad, dude?
Yeah.
If you are just thriving and this is the thing you like to do, I don't care. I don't think you're all gay. I don't think that, and if you were, I think that would be great. If you guys all wanted to enjoy some meat together, I think that would be awesome. I don't think that they all are. No. But if they are, nobody would give a shit. Just try to figure out why you're so mad. I know I'm screaming, why are you so mad? Right. But I'm trying to be mad for things that are, I see people suffering and don't want them to suffer. When you're mad at other people just being alive and existing and not bothering you, like, we got to talk, but why? We got to talk about it.
Somebody said, be careful of pay attention to who you're jealous of, who you're angry of, because it's a part of you that you are not allowed to have. For me, I was very jealous of this girl that was always in her soft feminine life, because I was living in New York City in my combat boots, taking the train, telling men to fuck off, right? And hailing cabs and shit. So I think a lot of these guys that are angry at trans people reading books to kids, or gay people existing, or women, I think the anger comes from, oh, you're allowed to live your life in freedom and peace and say what you want. I can't say what I want. I can't do what I want. Since I was a child, I was told that I'm bad, and you're told that you're good. That's not fair. So I'm going to take away everything you have.
I can only wear beige.
Right.
I have to wear shirts that are always tucked in and it's uncomfortable.
I don't know. I want my penis to be free.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's very true most of the time. I can't speak for everybody. I don't know why Jess Edwards is on this pedestal saying stuff like that. He also quadrupled down on it. Of course, people lost their minds because it's such a weird thing to say. I mean, ripe about people is never a thing you should say in any circumstance, but certainly not while you're talking in front of a group of people.
Even if his posture, can we go back to just the opening shot, what he looked? Because he's just looking down and his back is hunched. He knows what he says is wrong.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't look proud of what he's saying. I mean, that too. We can use any of these photos, really.
Whatever. He just looks.
He's just he looks like he's already being oh yeah, well, I just shouldn't.
I guess.
I probably shouldn't have done that.
This is an I guess posture. This isn't real. Button your shirt up. Why do you have a scar on your face?
Some kind of scab. It looks like he fell on his face. That's a scab that older people who don't have good mobility have sometimes, or toddlers, he just looks like he fell over somewhere. That's not a crime. That's whatever. But I just have to make fun of him because I don't like him. So I'll make fun of his scab.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a fun little part of our country and our society.
That's right. Dumpster Fire Game says this dude's a combat veteran. He's a combat veteran?
Oh, yeah, he is. He is.
But here's the thing because I have some family in the military, and you're not all on the front lines. Sometimes you're doing paperwork.
For sure. And listen, I've never done service. I thank you for it. I do think that is an incredibly difficult, brave thing to do for a lot of people. I don't think that it should be then you are immune from your thoughts and actions.
Right, exactly. Oh, somebody says cancer removal. Sorry, Steams says cancer removal. That was what it
Well, fine. Listen, I'm the jerk. Okay? I'm the bad guy. I just thought his scab was doing something funny, he was trying to look cool, and he walked into a plate glass or something, That's what I was hoping for at the very least. What were you say?
Oh, sorry, Dumpster Fire Game says, oh, no, for sure, I never deployed. It's in one of his pictures. He's wearing a combat action badge.
Well, if he's got a badge on, I have no more questions.
Then he's right. Let's rape those kids. Sorry. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments on Reddit for saying that. I mean that being
You're being sarcastic.
Sarcastic.
Yes. Reddit. Oh, Reddit.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, Reddit. Coming for you.
I want everyone's consent, and I want men to be happy and free.
I agree. I want men to be happy and free as well. Like I said, I think that this kind of mentality hurts all genders. It hurts men. It makes their lives worse too. Those guys never seem super stoked to be around, you know? They're not like living that life. You're not getting those people who have child brides and who keep them are traditionally extremely violent and angry. The woman who started and Chained at Last, I've mentioned her name's Freddie Reese, and I love her. She's incredible. She was born in a really conservative Jewish community, and she was given over to a man. She was considered an old maid at 19, and she was unsavory because her parents were divorced. And so she was handed off to this. She was relieved. Finally, all of her friends have been married for years, and she was so embarrassed about it. And then, unfortunately, you can listen to her story. She's told it many times. I know she just recently retold it on a channel called Unfiltered Stories, I believe. I think she has a TED Talk as well. But unsurprisingly, the guy who she was given to, as she was so shameful for having divorced parents, was not good to her. He assaulted her every day, beat her, threatened to kill her constantly. And one place in the entire house that he didn't look, she saved up money over years and years and years, and she ran with her kids. And then she started this because she wasn't a child, but the entire community around her praised those kind of marriages. And so even though she was technically an adult, she was still a kid, of course, and he was older. And it was encouraged, like child marriage was so encouraged in her community, and like she saw all of these people suffering and everything that they had to go through. And so she's just badass. I just bring her up a lot because I think she's cool. So.
Right, and I do want to reiterate, I said that sarcastically because often people see somebody with a medal or some sort of political badge, and they're just like, oh, well, I guess we have to believe whatever they say, and I'm being sarcastic on that. I don't want...
Are you sure, Amber?
I just want to
oh, baby, you're all good. We all believe you.
Sometimes
we all believe you.
Things before I think about it. And Earth Empress says, speaking of religious fundamentalism, has anybody noticed that a majority of the Duggar children who've broken away from the religion are the daughters? Well, yeah. Because the men are like, I get my dick sucked and eat my cake too.
And I will say a lot of the daughters who have broken away are still in really shitty conservative religions, but they're not as bad as the IPL. I don't know if we're splitting hairs, but they're they can put pants on if they want. They can have a job, which is, woo, yay. They're not in the IBLP anymore, for sure. None of them have fully broken away, but they're getting there, I think. The Duggars, it's tragic. I'm scared for the kids who are still there, even though Jana Duggar's still there, who's technically their mom. The oldest daughter's still in the house. But she just, I don't know if you guys follow Duggar stuff. I only obviously follow the adults now, but she's been flashing an engagement ring the last couple of days.
Okay.
Secret fiance, which is listen, if you're not in the Duggar world, this is not going to be exciting or interesting at all. But a lot of they're very open about their engagements and their betrothals and all that stuff. And usually there's this big to-do. And she seems like she has a secret.
That's good. Keep it off camera.
I know. I'm happy for her. I hope she gets to leave and have some kind of fun life since she already raised a bunch of children that weren't hers. Speaking of family vlogging, this is another thing I want to talk about today before we leave. I'm sure if you've been here before, you've heard of Jody Hildebrand, Ruby Franke. We've covered them extensively. If this is your first time here, you don't know that story. It's based around LDS people, a mother, family vlogger, and her counselor basically almost ended up killing some of Ruby's kids because of abuse, and they're in jail currently. So the kids from the Franke family have been dealing with this fallout since almost a year ago now. This happened last August when they finally were arrested. The abuse had been going on for years, but a couple of the oldest Franke kids are now into adulthood, and they're kind of speaking out against all this stuff going on in their house and are getting like super anti-family vlogger, which makes me happy because I can just be a lady online being like, that's not good. And like, that only goes so far. But if it's actually children who had been vlogged speaking out, it helps, I feel like. So Chad Frankie is an adult now. He's the second oldest, I think, in the family. I don't remember. But he doesn't really do social media except for Snapchat, which I can't do because I'm not a teenager or a 50-year-old man.
Right.
I'm so out of the Snapchat world, but he likes to do that one because he said he doesn't have to interact with people as much. Mm-hmm. And so he actually, just the other day, he's been speaking out about being anti-flogging, anti-child exploitation, which is really cool. Even though I don't really agree with a lot of his, he's still really deeply entrenched in like shitty ideas, but he's really young. Like I don't blame him for that. He's just was coming up through all that stuff his whole life. But he reached out to a woman. Her name is Tiffany. She is a standard, I don't know, like boy mom, family vlogger.
I don't know why I feel red flags just from the name. It's just a name, Amber.
It's
and
Tiffany.
My name's Amber. It's the same It's the same thing.
Well, her name is Tiffany with an I.
Okay, all right, we get it. We get it.
So this woman who goes by Tiffany Burrell, she's a mommy vlogger. She is a #boy mom. She seems to have a little bit of an emotional incest relationship with her sons. She has a daughter too, but does a lot of content with just the boys. And she's been doing this for a long time. She has this son who's a teenager, and I think maybe this is why Chad felt specifically drawn to this lady, because, there's a million vloggers, but this is a woman who is doing kind of emotional incesty things with her teenage son, and that probably struck a chord with old Chad there. I don't know if I sent you. Oh, so if you want to pull that picture up of her POV going to the doctor with your mom.
Oh gosh.
I'm not going to play the clip because I don't want his face in it. He's his like later teens, but
so we're the POV of the boy.
So POV on TikTok anymore doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean?
Know what it is.
So this is a picture of her. Of course, she's holding a Stanley Cup in almost every video.
It's another red flag.
I know.
That has lead in it, by the way.
It's just so bizarre. But so this is a TikTok of just POV going to the doctor with your mom. And the rest of the video is her showing that her son is at a doctor's appointment in the doctor's, like in the examination room.
No.
And it's him not knowing how to talk to the doctor. And so it's like this, like him going like, I don't know, when the doctor's asking him questions, and then it goes to the mom like, I'll guess I'll step in. It's creepy and weird. I don't like it. So I think that's maybe why Chad decided to reach out to her, but he sent her, he eventually posted what he sent to her online. And so the message that he wrote to her said, my name is Chad Frankie. You may or may not have not heard my mom, Ruby Frankie, who is known for her family YouTube channel, 8 Passengers. She was arrested almost a year ago for child abuse. But that, of course, isn't why I'm reaching out. I just happened to come across your page and found how similar your filming, especially with the kids, was to my experience growing up. In the video with your son at the doctor, you replied to a comment saying, don't worry, he's just acting for me. That honestly broke my heart and set me off. I wish you the best, but your kids, I promise, will grow to resent you, especially your teen boy. He's putting on a happy face in front of the camera. No child wants their mother to benefit off of them on social media. And then he ended it with, you look like a clown, which is fair.
Oh my God. He's being so tempered.
He was.
And
but
then at the end was like, I just have to put this in there.
I gotta just fucking, you look like an asswipe.
Yeah.
Put the cup down, do something else.
I hope she reads this.
Oh, she did. Don't worry. He's been posting their interactions. So you would think, I don't know, if you were a rational woman and you were an adult, you had your own kids, you were older, you would see this post. And even if you weren't familiar with the family, and I do not believe she didn't know who they were, even though she kind of acts like it. She's been doing family vlogging. They were one of the most famous family vloggers for years. And you would think if you got that, you'd be like, maybe if you disagreed, you'd still be like, oh my God, that's so wow, maybe I should really like just say
inward.
like, hey, thank you. You know, I'll really think about that. I'll make sure I talk to my kids about this and see how they're feeling. And you've given me something to ruminate on. And you're right. You know, I really should be thinking, you know, maybe even if you're just talking out your ass, right?
Just that lead poisoning from that Stanley Cup, I tell you what. What'd she respond with?
A bunch of things. Here's one of the messages. I'm actually quite pissed you would come out after a stranger you know nothing about. You're trying to project your pain and abuse on everyone else. Just because it happened to you doesn't mean it's happening to everyone. Some people are actually normal. Shock face. I'm not your mom and my son is definitely not you. You need years of therapy. To go around thinking you see your situation in random strangers speaks volumes of your mental health. You need therapy like now, and I suggest you stay out of random strangers' DMs accusing and projecting your pain on innocent people. I am never and will never be like your insane mother. I actually love and adore my kids unlike her. Seek help.
God, what a fucking bitch.
So my takeaway from that personally is this arrow strucketh deep. It was a little too close to the things in her bed that she tries to ignore.
She's like, no. So all the pain that she could have put on herself, she's putting out.
Yeah. Because listen, Chad is technically an adult, but I think he's like 19, maybe 20. He's a young guy, the same age as her children, a couple of them. And I will say, of course, he said you look like a clown at the end. And I get it. That's not nice. But the vast majority of that message was very steady and just saying, like, listen, this is something that I really want to tell you is damaging to kids. They don't really... They're doing this because I can see that they want to please you. And they're doing it because they love you. But, like, this isn't... healthy, and it's very measured. And her reaction was like, you're insane and you're crazy and my family's wonderful and you're terrible. Like,
you need years of therapy.
You need years of therapy. What a crazy thing to respond to a kid being like, I'm worried about them and I know from personal experience. And they go back and forth for a while. It's never really very... He's continuously very polite to her, I will say, and she consistently keeps saying it's weird. She's like having a nervous breakdown because as she's writing these things, she'll go back for a while and be like, you know what? I'm actually really sorry. I spoke out of turn. I was upset.
Is she bipolar? Or?
But then I think it's just she's not. I don't think it's bipolar.
I don't know what bipolar is.
Yeah, I don't think it's like.
I don't know what that is.
I don't think.
I think it's like one motion or the other.
Well, it's a complicated mental health thing.
You got it.
Many people have it. People who we work with have it. You can maintain it with therapy medicine. I think it's more that she just is a douche. I think that was more like the diagnosis I was going with. She, I think, is kind of maybe exemplary of a lot of how a lot of mommy vloggers are inside, just sort of like angry,
mean,
reflect, like kind of deflect things from themselves.
I'm sorry, I also don't want to say bipolar means you're bad. It just seems like it was one and then the other, and I don't know.
God damn it, Amber.
Yeah. All right.
Doing great.
This stream, I've put my foot in my mouth a couple times.
No, you haven't. You're crushing it.
Oh, by the way, Amber, your lovely name. Thank you, LZYTYPR. Amber is the name of an URDU origin, meaning reddish yellow precious jewel. In terms of popularity, Amber ranks 1439. Additionally, the lucky number associated with your name is 9.
Is this Gembot? Gembot 5000?
I love it.
I love it. Melissa Z, is this the same woman who kept trying to get a thumbnail with her son after their dog died? Nope, that's a different one. She's come back. After that thumbnail one, she, so this is an older...
Oh, is this the one where like that she made them put the dog down?
No, the dog was sick.
Okay.
That's a different one. That's a different one. I know which one you're talking about. That's a different one where she did the photo shoot with the dog and then they killed the dog.
I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh.
No, it's insane.
That's so fucking
It's absolutely insane. No. This is a different one that Melissa's bringing up. That is a woman who was trying to catch a thumbnail of her son sobbing, who was genuinely crying because their dog was sick. And she kept going like, no, turn to the camera. And she forgot to edit it out, essentially, in the video. So her like trying to get her son to perform while he's crying for real ended up accidentally in the video. So she went away for a while, but don't worry, she's back.
She's back?
Yeah, she's back.
Oh, thank gosh.
There's so many. There's so many. Yeah, I mean, there's so many Earth Empress. There's so many mommy vloggers. There's no way to even know all of them, and I unfortunately know a lot of them from this because I my mind is constantly just blown to smithereens.
I mean, how do we remedy this? Just like no kids online? Like, do we all have an age check? And
well, I mean, there are laws being passed. There's laws that are trying to be passed where they're trying to regulate. Laws are trying to regulate the apps because the apps profit. They don't care about the children because they make money.
Right.
And the parents don't care because they make money. And so we have to put laws in place, and they're trying to make laws about at least like making sure kids are being paid, because the parents a lot of times keep all the money. They don't owe the kids anything, even though the kids are working. I personally don't think that that's enough, but they're working on it. And it's interesting, Chad Frankie.
What if we had a kid-based economy? Like the kids start getting paid and like, oh my God, there's like 6 more Six Flags popping up in California. What's this Cotton Candy Lane doing over here?
I feel attacked personally. This just sounds like what I would do.
Right.
No.
Are we getting the light over there, or is that just
lazy rivers for roads?
Right. Why are there so many lazy rivers for roads in a lolly gumdrop lane?
That's just me. Yeah, but so we have to wrap up because we're going over to the much brighter side. But Chad Frankie, I will say, it was really nice to hear that he was responding to people as this interaction was going on, and he was saying a lot of people close to him are working on laws to keep kids off of camera, even if they're paid, which really is incredible because he's still kind of like in that world. All of his aunts vlog all of their kids, like their entire family does this. And I'm really proud of him, even though I don't agree with all of his politics. I'm really proud of him for standing up and actually like pushing for this, because he's like, this was awful. Yeah. And I think he was triggered by her because he saw her and her son, like he and his mom, and the way his mom used him and sort of did like a weird emotional incest thing to him. Anyway, we're going to go now, and we're going to talk about funnier things.
Right, let's read the subs and then play a silly video to get our palate cleansed for the next show.
So we're going to thank you again, Kitsuna, for the 50 subs last stream. Thank you, Raven Hallow, Check Missy. Thanks, Lord_Oxium. Hassar 626 gifted 1 tier sub. Mojo Agogo gifted 2 tier 1 subs. Thank you. And Winter Hills Honey and Kaylee Janey subbed. Thank you guys so much for being here. Jesse Witt says they have bipolar 1, and you're doing great, Amber.
Okay, thank you.
We always got to learn.
I just want to. I'm learning. I'm here. Sometimes I speak before I say things. I really just want everyone to be happy and free.
Except for
except for the bad people.
Except for the people who marry children.
The more I talk, the worse it gets. So let's go on to the silly video.
I'm in Transylvania, about to go to Dracula's castle. It's literally just there. How crazy is that? I'm trying to get this collar to stay on. Obviously I'm going as a vampire. Okay, that's decent. I just hope that doesn't drop down.
Don't worry.
Right, I've just been to my bag and I cannot find my fangs at all, which is really annoying because what is this look without fangs? It just look a bit ridiculous. So I'm hoping they'll sell some there. I've got this fake blood as well, but I don't know if the fake blood is just going to look weird without the fangs. So I'm just going to carry it with me. Okay, so naturally I am still a bit upset about the fangs, but I think this bag might redeem it. It's a coffin with wings. It's so fitting. It's so fitting.
It gets better.
I need to get home. Well, it's raining, so that's really annoying.
Bleeding me dry like a damn vampire.
I'm back now from my day out in Transylvania, and I realised why I stood out a bit was because it was daylight. Like, I'm at Dracula's castle in daylight, hello. But when I bought my fangs, I also managed to get this cape, which I think is just amazing. there's just something really cool about owning a cape that I bought in Transylvania. So I'm going to go run around with my cape and fangs and see if I can find anyone.
I think, again, I feel attacked. You're just saying this is stuff I would do.
She's just running around by herself at night. I love it.
Again,
Love it. Love her.
I would just wear that and make lazy river roads.
Right.
So this is all just about, you just make fun of me, Amber. This is my culture. My culture. Do we know the name of the creator of that?
I don't. I can look it up right now.
We can't. I'm so sorry.
Sorry,
We usually would do that. We apologize.
We love you. Stick around. Stick around. We love you.
I'm a vampire.
Okay. Ooh, I need to brush my teeth again.